The hard truth is that you just don't fit into your old life anymore. You are not a vibrational match for it. And the more that you shake up the patterns of who you think you are, the less you will fit into who you thought you were. And it's a good thing. It's a great thing for, depends what you consider good or bad. There really is no such thing as good or bad or any of this at all. But when we're looking at trying to get the most out of this human experience, and we're looking at trying to, have things come to us quicker, the things that we truly desire, to end the karma that we came here to earth to experience and to move through and to bring the truth through. The way to do that is to shake up these patterns and to challenge what we think to be true, right? Any belief is not true. The same as how good and bad are not true. At the end, it's really just the I am. It's really just the infinite, and the infiniteness of what I feel to be true is love and acceptance and pure light. And so we came here to earth to experience that and remember that and bring that through. And what we were talking about yesterday is like how so many people are just so asleep, and so many spirits having a human experience are just asleep to their own truth, their own potential. And what I think is the experience meant to be had is to wake up, right? To wake up and remember more and more the truth of who we are. Also, I just love this horse. Forte, give me a kiss. Can I have a kiss? We've been working on our kisses. So I don't know if you remember, but this is one of the stallions who got here kind of recently, and they're being boarded here. And so the money from the boarding and the pension is going towards the care of the rest of the animals here, the rescue animals, like Ladybug and the other 4 horses that you guys helped me do the fundraiser for. And so this guy has been very, very timid, but we've been working on our trust together. Can I kiss? Can I have a kiss? Come here. You're camera shy? I'm falling in love with this horse. Truly, truly falling in love with this horse. He's very skittish, but we've been really bonding. Come here. Have a kiss? Have a kiss? Kiss. I love you. I hope you can stay forever. I don't know, we're gonna manifest that. So this topic, it came to be in my heart and in my soul today because what I always notice is when I go travel somewhere and then I come back to my life, wherever I'm residing or spending my time, everything is different. Because by traveling and going out of your normal routines and patterns, you are getting a different perspective on them. And so many of us can't travel because of work and because of how much time off you actually have. And so it's in a way like this way of being forced into not waking up, not having the opportunity to wake up. It's possible, it's very, very possible to challenge your patterns and your beliefs when you're not traveling, but it's a lot easier when you're getting out of your normal everyday things. So when I was living in California before moving here to Europe, here specifically Italy, I looked at my Aura ring and I saw the GPS of my life, like it has GPS, and so it showed me like the circle that I would do. I was going from my house to the gym, to the beach walk that I do, maybe to a friend's house, and then like that, it was just every day, all day, doing the same circle. I was like, wow, that's really fascinating. And so then when I I went to a spiritual retreat in Florida and in Sedona, and then I went to see my dad in Kentucky, and every time I would come back, it was like massive changes would happen. Like, I was in a relationship it was really just time to end. And my relationship of 4 years ended when I went to the retreat, and my home that I was living in went up for sale. When I went to Kentucky, I was pretty much forced into quitting my job because the conditions changed to a point where I could not stay. And all these things that were no longer in resonance finally had the perspective to no longer become a vibrational match, to no longer be a vibrational match, because I disrupted those patterns. And so when I returned home, I, with that new level of awareness and perspective, no longer fit into my old life. And so that is what we can use to our advantage, right? But there is that part and that piece of time, that time period, where you will have to almost grieve that you don't fit anymore. You don't fit in those old relationships and those old friendships and that old job. And there's a lot of unknown in what's next when you start to change your field and you start to change your perspective and you start to change matter from that. And so then we're stepping into the unknown. And the unknown, from a perspective of your subconscious, can be seen as a threat, because what the subconscious's job is not to keep you happy, it's to keep you safe. And so if the unknown is unknown, there is a lot of potential for it to be unsafe. Therefore, the subconscious might make all these reasons of why, you have to stay in what, you were in, but you don't fit anymore. So then maybe you come back from a trip, or you come back from yoga retreat, or you come back from just doing a really deep meditation in your room, and it really shook up a lot of patterns. It really gave you different perspective. And then you're feeling so different, and you're feeling like you just cannot rest. You cannot be settled. You just feel uncomfortable. Like my cousin, she came to visit, and we went to France and Switzerland, and when she got back, she was just like, I just feel so weird, like ever since I got back. And it's because we can change a lot when we disrupt our patterns, no matter how much how you do disrupt your pattern. And so then it's a matter of facing those subconscious beliefs and patterns that try to keep you in that old life that you no longer fit in. And how do we do that? Well, there's many ways to do it. And so we can do EFT tapping, we can do visualization, we can do hypnosis, we can do different ways of wiring together old neurons, or an old neuron together with a new neuron. And a lot of it comes down to giving the mind evidence. So something that I work on with my clients, that I work on in my 21-day program to rewire your mind, is giving the mind evidence. And so how do you give the mind evidence? You probably have these expanders in your life, these people who show you what's possible, who show you that the life that you desire is possible because it's happening for them. And so if it's happening for somebody else, it can be happening for you. And if there is a voice coming up right now telling you otherwise, that is a subconscious pattern and belief that is within you that is holding you back. There is absolutely no reason why it's possible for somebody else and not for you. And anything that your mind is telling you, it is just something that's been ingrained in you, and you have the potential to change. Right? You can change your matter. You can have miraculous healing. You can have influx of abundance coming into your life. You can have new, deeper love relationships. You can have everything that you truly want. Anything is possible. Everything is possible because everything is happening right now within the quantum field. There are infinite timelines and infinite possibilities. Time and space are not real. So every single thing is happening. There is the version of you where you have every single thing that you want, that you desire, that you came here to Earth to experience. And so what helped me the most, I think, was learning that concept that I just said right there, and really wrapping my mind around it, reading books on it. Reality Transurfing is a great book on that, on quantum manifestation. And it really gave my mind evidence, aside from just having expanders, it gave my mind evidence that it's not something so crazy. It's not something outside of me. It's not like I'm like creating it in manifestation and like trying to draw it to me by, you know, convincing my mind that it's mine, it's mine, it's mine. But it's already happening right now. It's like, it's literally happening right now. And so when we no longer fit into our life anymore, our old life, because we're choosing differently, because we're gaining new perspective, because we have outgrown what we were, who we were with, and who we were working with, who we were associated with, all the things, when you no longer fit, then it's time to expand. It's time to step into the unknown. It's time to start taking those leaps towards what's next. And the more that you do that, and the more that you show your mind and your subconscious mind that it is not as threatening as it was once perceived, the more that you build that self-trust. A lot of it is self-trust. And so a friend and I who's visiting right now, we were talking last night and talking about van life. He's a van lifer. And so he has a YouTube as well, Diego's Van, I believe. I'll try to link it below if I remember. And so we were talking last night about van life and going to like finding spots to park and like having that intuition within yourself of like feeling like, is this a good place to park tonight? Is this not a good place? I was talking about how when I got here to the farm, I was terrified. I almost turned around. I was so paranoid. I was so like still in that programming of like, oh my God, solo female traveler, it's so dangerous in another country. What are you doing? Like everyone else's beliefs and patterns that, you know, if I had let that control my life, all of that conditioning that wasn't even true, wasn't even mine or my choice. It was just ingrained with me, muscle memory within me. I would have never been here right now. I would never be kissing this horse. I would never be raising the money to save the other horses. I would never be, you know, creating this wellness center, this retreat center. I would never be with this community. I would never have had all of this experience. Maybe it would have been something else and something beautiful as well. But it's just, it shows how much those programs and patterns are running in the background and trying to keep you safe, but really holding you back from your highest potential. And so the more that I started, you know, traveling on my own and doing van life on my own and going to new places and new parking lots and new all these things, the more I started to trust myself. When I first started solo traveling on Lake Como, well, I had solo traveled before, but in this Europe travel, when I was on Lake Como for a month, I was so afraid I couldn't even go on a walk by myself because I, you know, was afraid that a car would drive by and like take me, or that people were watching me and that people knew. And I had all this fear within myself, but I continued to give my mind and my body evidence slowly and slowly and slowly, and to do nervous system regulation, to rewire my mind, to, you know, move slowly, to train myself to know that I am safe. I am protected. If I am called to it, it is for me, and I will always be guided there. We were also talking about how he was hiking. Diego was on a hike, and he got into this meditation where he was focusing on his breathing and synchronizing it with his heartbeat and with his steps, and so it was like a full body meditation within the hike. And like part of me was like, oh, that sounds kind of dangerous, because you could like end up wherever, because he said he walked for a while and he's like, how did I get here? And I was like, that's kind of dangerous. But then I was like, no, it's not, because when you're in alignment like that and you're in the awareness and the truth of who you are, you will always be guided to where you're meant to go. You'll be guided to exactly where you're meant to be, exactly when you're meant to be there in this perceived reality. And so it's really a matter of getting into alignment and into that awareness, that truth of who you are through meditation. Daily meditation, I think, is very, very important, especially if you don't or haven't had a consistent practice of it. And eventually you do become the meditation. Eventually the meditation is you, is your life. You are the awareness who experiences this lifetime. And so then you're always guided to where you're meant to go, and you're always going to be in the right place at the right time. And if you're not, it will be so obvious because you will be so in touch. The big issue here in this current reality is that, you know, we have so many distractions. We have our phone that automates everything, that tells us where to go, all the directions, it tells us the weather, it tells us all this stuff. All that stuff is within you though. Like back in the day before phones, like we could sense when a storm was coming. We could sense which way to go on a hike, if it was north or west. Like we have this internal system within us, but we have become asleep to it. And so we can start waking up by starting to become more and more the awareness and starting to give our mind and our body evidence that we don't actually have to be so afraid. I was saying in this talk yesterday that it seems like so many people aren't living to their highest potential because they have been ingrained with so much fear and conditioning about what's possible for them. Like if I had just let those conditionings saying that, you know, solo female travel is like so dangerous, it's impossible, you shouldn't do it, control my life, I wouldn't be living in this reality where I am so grateful to be in right now. And so as you start to evolve, right, in summary, you won't fit into your old life anymore. That's just how it works. And then there will be that period of time where the subconscious mind says, we can't go forward, but you're not fitting and you're not going forward, and there's going to be frustration. And maybe you're there right now and it's normal. And so the way out of this is by rewiring the mind, by healing the nervous system, by giving yourself evidence, your mind evidence that it is possible for you, by building that self-trust more and more and more and more. And the more that you do it, the more that you leap and it's successful, and you leap and it's successful, the more you will see that you can do this on your own. You can do this with your own inner compass. It's all possible for you. And I don't want to get stuck on that word successful, because I try to share this in one of my Instagram posts the other day. I put it in the caption, but it was like this process hasn't been about like me leaping and being like abundance or true love. It has been about me leaping towards what I thought I was meant to go towards, and then me getting there and then like turning a little bit and being like, oh, I had to leap to get to this level so that I could turn right, and then I could see that that's the thing actually meant for me. Let me go over there, and then I have to leap here too into the unknown. Okay, I leap into the unknown, this must be it, and then I'm here, and then it's like, oh, actually, the thing I meant to go to is over there. That's the process, right? And so it's just allowing that to be it, and knowing that just because it's not exactly what you expected doesn't mean it's a failure. It just means it was a breadcrumb or a redirection, and it's all part of the process. Boom. That's the message. We could go on forever. But if you like this message, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new here, leave a comment if you feel called to do so. If you don't know what to say, you can say hello to Forte. And if you want Forte to be here for the rest of his life and to not have to be a sad racehorse that was very not valued by his owner. The owners just like pretty much threw him here, and I don't know. From my perspective, it didn't seem like he was really being cared for. They didn't even check to see how he was when he got dropped off, and he was super anxious. And obviously I've been building this trust with him every single day. We all are, and he's learning more and more and more that humans are safe. But I don't know, maybe he could stay here forever. We'll see, whatever the future holds. So you can say hello to Forte. And if you want to sign up for one of my programs, I have 21 days to rewire your mind, which is very much in alignment with what we were talking about in this message. And I also have 21 days to know your divine guidance, and that's all about going into your heart space and asking from that place for guidance and wisdom on the best decisions and places to go and things to do within this human experience. And so I also have one-on-one options as well. So with that all being said, I am going to go spend some more time with Diego, friend, and then he will be off to a YouTube event that I was thinking of going to. But we have a lot of projects here on the farm, which I'm super excited about. A lot of projects. That children's book, some of you sent publishers. If you're an agent, or if you know an agent for publishers, I think that that's also a route that we want to go. So if you want to send me an email, it's arayaamenti@gmail.com. You can message me on Instagram too if you have any connections for agents and publishers and stuff. So we're writing children's books on the different animals and the lessons that each animal here has, which is such a cute idea. And that's all. I'll leave you with that today. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.